How you guys doing here today? It's Master Mark Kanaar, and you can see the hoodie Master Atchison gave me. Kim's Karate. Back in the day, about 20 years ago, actually, maybe longer. Wow, getting old. But today I wanted to talk to you guys about a concept, two concepts actually, to help you to accomplish greatness. One is called dependability, and the other is called reliability. Now, we all know people that aren't reliable or they're not dependable, and that kind of excludes them from being great. It kind of makes me sad when I run into people like that because I'll see some of them have some really, really good qualities, but when I think about what is the most important ones, I would probably have to put these two on the table. It would be very, very difficult to become great or the best version of yourself if you didn't have these qualities. And one of the things I could think about is like, what is the difference between reliability and dependability? And I went online, I kind of looked at them, and believe it or not, the definitions kind of are almost the same, or what we call a synonym in, I believe, in English, describing two words that mean almost the same. And those two words, when I looked at the definition, they had the word to describe it. They had dependability to describe reliability, and they had reliability to describe dependability. So I kind of was like, I want to make sure I kind of know what these terms mean. What's the difference, Because if I don't know what the difference is, how am I going to be able to, make goal setting and become more reliable and become more dependable? So being a math major and having a degree in science, I decided to kind of go that route, see what science had to say about it. And one of the things I learned in linear algebra was a concept called dependent variable, okay? When you have a dependent variable, that variable is fixed unless the independent variables that are in the equation change, then that changes the the variable that has to be the outcome, so to speak. And that's like life, if you're dependable, you're going to be in your group and your group is going to get things done. Now, I remember when I was a kid, I played baseball and a couple other sports, or even if I was in some sort of team at church or something like that, my parents were super strict about me not quitting because they knew that my dependability mattered for that team. If I played baseball, I was center field and second base, and at first I wasn't very good and I didn't want to play anymore. And I remember as I kept practicing, I got more experience, and then I loved it. But the first year was rough for me getting through it. I wanted to kind of quit. And my mom and dad were like, "You're not quitting. Okay, you're a part of that team. They depend on you being there." And I knew if I didn't show up, then our team's outcome might be different. All right. It could have been for the better because at first I wasn't very good. By the end, my brother and I got really, really good at playing baseball, I remember, for just our area or whatnot. We were very passionate about it. And the other cool thing is my dad spent a lot of time working with us, and it was like a special time between father and son, so to speak. And then when I think about reliability, when I was in Calc 2, we had a special part in our lesson that was part of like physics and engineering. And the reliability of a machine was how well it could produce the the quality of whatever it's trying to produce. Could it produce that quality repetitiously? And if it had bad reliability, that machine would produce products that were broken, or maybe the standard deviation weren't the right size for whatever it was making, and you knew that machine was not reliable. And that was what I remember in math. So let me give you a different example. When I was in school, there was this millage, and I remember it. And I went to Marshall Green Middle School, and the millage didn't pass. There's a bunch of people like, "I don't want the millage," So what did the school do to teach us a lesson, so to speak? They took the buses away. And then my mom had to drive us to school every single day. And I was dependent on her picking us up and taking us there. And I remember that. I remember everybody was mad at the school, and they ended up passing the millage, and we got our buses back. But I was totally dependent on my mom, okay? I didn't really have any other options to get home, so to speak, okay? And now that I'm a teacher, when I get done at my school or when I'm teaching martial arts, I hop in my car and I get in that car and drive. I have to believe that car has a reliability, that it's going to turn on and drive wherever I want it to go. So when you think about it, you have to think about, what are you dependable, And are you reliable? Basically, dependability is being there for your team. Reliability is being able to produce what you are supposed to produce. And when I think about dependability, I think of certain students. Like I have a student named Damian at my Bridgeport location. And he's really young. He's a black belt. He's a third-degree black belt. And he's one of the youngest third-degree black belts I ever had. And one of the reasons he's great is because how dependable he is. And his dependability matters on how dependable his mom is. His mom is like a stickler on being dependable. Her name's Gretchen. And she does a great job raising Damian. And then the reliability part, when you think about that, think about your favorite sport athlete. You probably are a fan of that person because they are able to produce or win all the time. You trust them that they're going to do their best job every time you see them. That's the thing about dependability and reliability, is having a certain degree of trustworthiness. Okay? If you say you're going to be there, be dependable. When you show up, do what you are supposed to do. Be a great producer of what you're trying to produce. Be reliable at what you're trying to do. That's it. And when I think about reliability, I think of a lot of really great athletes that I've been able to coach where they're able to win a lot when they were competing. And then there's people who have both. And a lot of times people will have both. A person that's reliable is most likely going to be dependable and vice versa. At my Karo gym, I have a instructor named Mr. Worth who's very dependable and very reliable. He shows up on time. He's always there. He's there before me most of the time. And when he teaches class, man, it's like all out. Mr. Worth, we call him the Silver Ninja. And then over at my Midland location, I have Mr. George Fonseca. Is probably one of the most reliable and dependable people I've ever met. And we have a great crew of people that teach out there. Mr. Reynolds and Mr. Scutt, they're very reliable and very dependable as well. In fact, all my instructors are like that. If you're a black belt, you should have that. That should be like the foundation of what you are. Mr. Gould's like that. The people that help me over at the Hemlock location are like that too. And I try to be like that. I'm not perfect. Sometimes things come up, that you just got to know that. But nobody's perfect. But you're trying to strive to have those qualities, dependability and reliability. People trust in you. And when people trust in you, you know what happens? They're inspired by you. It's easier to influence somebody when they truly trust you. They believe in you, okay? You got to have that mentor. I still have a mentor. I still have a couple mentors that help me out. And I call them up and I ask them questions sometimes because I'm not at the best version I can be. I'm always growing. You got to have that. If you're up on that pedestal and someone's looking up to you, you really should reach down and try to grab them and pull them up and help them become a better person too. That's really how you help out society. So I want you guys to take time and grow. Think about dependability. Are you a dependable person? Be honest with yourself. And then when you get out there, are you reliable? Okay? Are you giving the best performance you possibly can give? And that's what my master's message is today. And I hope you guys all have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.